In 2007, I got out of the United States military. I had just served a tour in Iraq, and I had just lost a marriage. For many years, I thought that I could put those demons aside. The loss of myself, the loss of several brothers in combat, and the loss of a very interpersonal relationship. Unfortunately, all that came to a boil. And in 2022, I reached out to the Veterans Affairs for help. That occurred in April. In July of 2022, after sitting in a hospital bed, after having emergency surgery, I got a phone call from the VA. That's right, from April to July. And they finally wanted to help me. So I accepted their help. I went into their therapy session, and all it did was rehash all of my trauma from the military, week after week after week, constantly going over it. And I found that it would take me several days to get over it. And then bam, I was right back into it. Well, during that time frame, a brother of mine, Josh Kemp, reached out because he saw some things on Facebook that he didn't think were probably the best things that a brother should be posting. It wasn't anything major. It was, songs that made me feel a little bit better because of how sad they were. But they still threw up the red flag for him. So he called me and he said, "Hey, I'm doing this program with Tim Scher." He said, "I want you to be a part of it." And that's when, I told him that I didn't have the money at the time to do it because it was expensive for me. I was living paycheck to paycheck before my surgery. And then when this happened, I wasn't even getting a paycheck. Well, about a week goes by and Josh calls me up and he says, "Hey, I've got some good news. We got a scholarship for a veteran to go through Tim Scher's One Belief Away." And I said, "Okay, that's awesome. Who are you going to have do it?" And he chuckled and I chuckled and he says, "We want you to go through it." And I said, "All right, I'm good with that." He says, "Good, because it starts tomorrow." And so not much time for me to prepare for what was coming my way. But what it was an awakening. I went through the first session and afterwards I came out and my eyes were watering. But it wasn't tears of being sad. It wasn't because I rehashed anything in the military. Actually, I didn't even have to go back to my military stuff. I went to stuff that happened in my childhood. Because what a lot of us don't understand is that there's stuff that happened in our childhood and it sits in our unconscious belief system. And I know that might sound kind of weird, but basically that unconscious belief system is how we develop our coping mechanisms. So here I'm 41. I was 40 at the time, and I'm walking around with the coping mechanisms of like an 8 to 11-year-old. And I thought to myself, wow, how many other people are walking around with coping mechanisms that they developed when they were just an adolescent or a juvenile? Then I started talking to other people, and I realized that a lot of us are doing that. And that's why I took Tim Scher's 3-day program to learn how to get over some of this stuff. It's why I went through Tim Scher's One Belief Away method. Now, there's a couple different things to go through. I went through the first 4 sessions, and after those 4 sessions, I wanted more. I wanted more so much that I signed up to be trained to do what Tim Scher did for me to give me that awakening experience. But there's more than that, a lot more. I'm not going to go into it all right now. Just know that when you go through this experience, it is mind blowing. It gives you the ability to recognize when you're going through something that you're going to be able to come through to the other side. You know, a lot of people I talk to, they say, you know, Joe, can you make me forget what I went through? Or can you make it so it doesn't hurt as much? Well, yeah, I probably could, but that wouldn't do what we want it to do. Because you have to remember, we go through all these experiences. And really, what those experiences are things that we can look back at and say, I made it. I'm still the person that I want to be. It takes a little bit of time to get there. And it takes a lot of effort on your part. It took a lot of effort on my part. So if you're looking for a program that can help you help yourself, come talk to me. Because I'm going to take you somewhere. And once you get there, you're going to want to sit in front of a camera one day and you're going to want to tell everybody about it. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Look at all the stuff I overcame. Have a wonderful day.